Hey everybody, Robot here from Vespa Motorsport, scooterwest.com here in San Diego, California. So here I have a Vespa LX. They brought these into the United States from about 2005, 2006, all the way to 2014. And there are several different variations of this scooter, such as the S150, the S50. The LXV that actually was here in the States even longer than the LX. And this seat will also fit the Vespa ET4 and ET2. It's a slightly different design, but it physically will fit those models as well. It's an original Piaggio seat. We have it in 5 different variations, and I'll show you shortly the 5 different color schemes that we have available for the seat. And it's a direct bolt-on seat kit. Includes this plate here. That's a slightly different plate than the original plate for the original US spec taller seat. And I'll show you how to bolt it all on. Real simple. Uses the standard latch. So this is an inexpensive solution if you either have a broken seat cable, have a torn upholstery, or just want to change up the looks on your Vespa, or maybe you want to lower it ever so slightly, about 3/4 of an inch. It's enough to make a lot of a difference. You know, if you're in seam and you're tippy-toeing when you come to a stop, it's kind of a lowered scallop, different styled seat. So let's get right to it. I'm going to show you the different variations of the seat and then show you how to install this. So here's the standard black seat. It has gray stitching. It also has the pull-out bag hook on it, and the Scooter West part number is seat-LX-LBK. It's just a standard black seat. Here's the sporty option. It's got a perforated inset double stitch. It's got the seat strap, white piping, give that sporty appearance. It does not have the bag hook on the front. Part number at scooterwest.com, seat-LX-LSBK. So just like the standard black seat, it has the bag hook. It's in beige or tan, seat-LXL beige. So here's a light brown or a dark tan, however you want to do it. It's got light tan stitching, a double stitch style stitch inlay. It's kind of got a leather style texture to it. Also has the bag hook. Scooter West part number seat-LX-L brown, LBROWN. So the last style seat is patterned after the original LXV seat. The original LXV had a leather saddle. A replacement part is astronomically expensive. This is in standard vinyl. It's got like a tan piping on both the passenger and rider's saddle. Part number is seat-LXV-LBRN. All right, so first of all, you got to open up the seat. If you got an LX with a broken seat cable, that was one of my prior videos on how to change it out. You're in for a bit more. You're going to have to get a wire in here and hook the hook to get this open. But the nice thing about the lowered seat kit is it comes with this new plate. So if you ruin it, you can jam something in there, pop it open, not the end of the world. But you do have to remove the lock tumbler from your existing seat. And I'll show you how to do that. There's a D-clip on the mechanism, the tumbler here. So you don't even need any tools. You can see this little metal D-clip. You can actually get your fingers under there. It's not that much tension. Lift it up, then you're able to pull the tumbler out. Make sure you don't latch the seat after you do such task. Next, we'll go ahead and remove the seat. You have a 10mm socket. Sometimes there's a little friction because there's paint in the holes right there. And once you have one of them, you kind of want to straddle the seat, kind of hold it. You don't want the seat falling when you're removing that last fastener. And now you have the seat removed. Save those 2 fasteners. So included with the lowered original Piaggio seat is a new rear plate. So there's this part. It's a different part because the new seat latches in a different spot. Remove your fuel cap. Remove the battery cover. It's just a single screw right here with a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. So lift that out of the way. We'll reuse that part. There's one other item. You don't need to necessarily remove the the battery, but there's a fuse holder right here, and there's this little tang right here that you could get a screwdriver in between and push it and then just lift that out and kind of leave it in there. And then you're gonna have 5 screws to remove. Keep track of the order. So this one's a long one. Sometimes this one's a shorter screw. Every once in a while, I see they have a long screw in here too. It works. And it looks like that one's the same length. But some cases, that one is a shorter screw. So these are all the same length on this scooter here. And then there's that single large screw right here. So the way you lift this out, kind of lift it, rotate it a little bit, and then pull it right over the filler neck. So that's the old latch plate. Go ahead and take the new latch plate. Original Piaggio Vespa part. It's a different variation. Doesn't use this center large screw. So kind of work this over your filler and kind of latch that right over the, so in the back there's that hook and it hooks onto the back of the frame. So that large screw isn't gonna get reused. Go ahead and just get them all started. Number 2 Phillips screwdriver here. Make sure all the clips are in place. Sometimes you'll be in for a surprise and it's missing a clip. Sometimes you just got to shift it around a little bit. There we go. And all the screws are now started, so we'll go ahead and send them home. You don't need to go too tight. They are just holding down a plastic piece right here. So next, this fuse holder, you could snap it right back into the new plate. It's got the identical. And the battery cover can go back on. It kind of hooks onto that back part. Send the screw right here. And go ahead and return your fuel cap back in place. And here at Scooter West, we stock 5 different variations of the seat. This is going to be the sportiest version of the lowered seat. It's got white piping, and it's got this perforated look inner stitching for the saddle, but it's a double saddle for a passenger and a rider. It's got the lock in there. It's a slightly different design otherwise. And the Scooter West part number on this particular seat is seat-LX-LS VK. So LS is like the lowered sport version. And you kind of support the seat right here. We'll get those bolts. We'll start the one closer to me. Just get it started by hand. Kind of got to support the seat here. Take your 10mm socket of some sort. I'm not going to go too tight with it. So just like such there. You have that lock tumbler still attached to the key. And we're going to go ahead and just insert this right back into the new seat. And it just snaps in there. You don't even need to lift up on the clip. And you can see it acts on this lever right here. Before we even drop it, you kind of want to make sure it's fairly aligned. Kind of look at this hook, make sure it's fairly centered. And once you get the adjustment, you can do a final torquing on both these bolts here. Drop your seat bucket back in place. Sometimes with that new plate, it doesn't quite line up perfect. Make sure that the seam is all perfect right there. And there it is. So seat lot works, and you have the lowered seat. And you're wondering how much lower this is compared to a stock seat. It's a little bit more dense of a foam, I would say, than the stock seat. It's a little flatter, so you can move forward. You have a little bit more room to move around on the seat versus a stock one. I would say it's about 3/4 of an inch lower than the original Vespa LX seat. All right, thanks for watching. Robot here from scooterwest.com and Vespa Motorsport. First time I've stumbled across this channel, of course, check out Vespa Motorsport on YouTube. I have hundreds of videos, specifically on Vespas, modern Vespas, some of the older Vespas, everything from doing any of your own service to installing lots of parts and accessories that we have available at scooterwest.com. See you on the next one.